So I bought one of those little mini excavators, and I've used this for a couple of hours just to kind of get a feel for it. It's a MIVA VA15, and I'm going to it's got an hour meter that's not connected up. Got the lights, got your pallet controls here, seat belt, which is necessary. This is your throttle key. This is for your boom. This is your hydraulic tank. You've got choke. It has a little mini blade on it. I'd like to have this a little longer, but yeah, it's got the manual thumb on it. I haven't used it yet. Like I said, I just got this thing the other day. I've done some digging with it. It's pretty nice. It's yeah, it says the hydraulic fluid is that, and I have bought AW46. So, and as you can see, this is for your hydraulic fluid, and it's a little low. It's just about, that's your temperature range, but when I was running it, I didn't even see anything on here. So I am going to drain, if I can, drain out the hydraulic fluid, and I've got to change the oil. So what I have to do, it's not a Briggs motor, it's a clone copy of a Briggs. I think it's a 13 horsepower. It's hard to see in there, but I've got to take this cover off so I can get into the engine so I can change the oil, and I'll bring you right back. Alright, so this back cover has 7 bolts. It's got 3 on the side, none on the bottom, which I was surprised. 3 on the other side, and then it's got 1 right there for that back cover. And then this cover on this back plate on the back has got 6, 7, 8, and that's just like the little small access cover. So here is the engine. Here's the hydraulic pump, and as you can see, there's a drain for the oil. No really good way to drain this thing. And this is the engine. I can get you in there. 420cc, 15 horsepower. It's got the fuel tank on top. The exhaust, I know one of the things a lot of people do is have an extension piece to come out the back through the access hole on that cover, because in my time of using this thing, it was really hot in here. And I know there's people that put fans in the grill to blow air, and exhaust fan. I don't know if I'll be able to do that on this side. I might be able to put one on the bottom to maybe blow out the air, maybe. I don't know. This is the first time I've taken this cover off. This is actually the first time I'm actually going to service this thing. But there's the hydraulic tank in there, in that right corner with the little silver cap through the hole. And this is one of the valves, and then there's the other one for the other side. And I'd like to put a filter, and I think this hose, or maybe that hose there, where the where you could put a filter. Now I'd like to be able to, if I could, mount that filter like right here, if that's possible. If this is the main line going up to all the hydraulics, and I think it is, because it's going straight up here to this valve body here for your controls. I think this is the main one. I might have to ask around. And I believe that one is the drain that goes back to the pump for the hydraulic fluid out of the tank. So yeah, I'm gonna make a mess here, draining this out. I got a big pan, but you know, they say change this. I don't know how often, but this is the oil that came in it, and it's almost full. It's a little down there a little bit, but I didn't want to run it too much. But I am going to fill it all the way up, drain it, and then tackle the draining the hydraulic fluid, because I want to put good stuff in there and make it, fill it up so it's halfway full, and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, well, it makes a mess. I think I'll find one of those like extension pipes that'll come up, and I can just fold it in here when I put the cover back on it. Some metal, it looks like, maybe. But like I said, I didn't run this thing for maybe about an hour. But it's a new engine. I'll probably have to change it a few more times. But yeah, it's not the best placement for the engine. And just leaking out, but there's not a lot of oil in there. I think it's like 1.5 quarts maybe, or maybe something like that. But anyway, I have it tilted, have the machine tilted back so it would just run straight out, and not where I had it earlier, because it was going to drain to the right hand side and get all over everything. So I'm just going to let that run for a few minutes, and then I'll cap it off. That is a 12. Let's see, 12 millimeter. Hope you can see that. That bolt is a 12 millimeter. So I'm just going to let that drain out, and then put some fresh oil in it. Get it a little bit more level, because I'm on kind of a hill right here. But yeah, and then while I have it up, I'm going to look underneath there for the hydraulic oil, see if I can drain that tank out. Well, I only added about a half, not even half a gallon, just to top it off. And I could see down, and I had a little accident. My funnel fell out of the hole while I was putting fluid in there, and it just went all over, all the way down. So oil level is good. I just checked the oil. Of course, it made a mess. There's no really good way, excuse me, unless you get a hose with a fitting on it. And you know, I guess you could, this access hole here, you might be able to, you could knock that out maybe, but this is probably made for something else. Maybe the diesel exhaust comes out this size, but here the regular exhaust comes out here. And so, but oil's changed. I topped off the fluid a little bit. Like I said, less than half a gallon. I could see it down in the tank. It's hard to see on camera, but it didn't seem like it was low. But I just want to put some fresh, good lube in there, or hydraulic oil. And more than likely what I'll do is that drain, I'm assuming that's the drain, just take that loose, drain that tank, and completely put fresh in there. But I want to know if the that hose, this hose here, is the actual main feed. So I have to do some digging. I haven't, like I said, I haven't really touched this much, except test it out, run it a little bit, and see how it goes. Even still got the plastic on the seat. There's a little mat that goes here. Not sure what's in there, but there's a bunch of hydraulic hoses, and there's the whatever that motor is to turn at the house. Not sure what that is, but there's a lot of little hoses and stuff. But there's a little mat that goes on there to protect that. And I'm going to get my grease gun out here and try to grease all these fittings as best I can. They have these, what do you call it? The little, like that little pinhole in the middle and has a little cone. I'll show you that here in just a second. But I want to change these out. I think these are M8 Zerk fittings. But I do want to change these out. This one down here, this one here is a regular Zerk fitting. These might be Zerk. I'll have to clean that out. But and then there's one of the cone style. It's been painted on, so I may have to scrape that off, that paint off, and make sure I can get grease in all these fittings. And I'm not sure how this thumb works. I see this section here. Not sure how. Thought there might be a bar or something that goes in this thing, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to get my grease gun. I got to put some grease in it, and we'll be ready to dig some holes in this thing and see what we can find out. So, okay, everything is greased. When you grease these, the swivel, make sure you spin it around. I spun it like 90 degrees from where it is now, greased it, spun it around to the back, greased it, put more grease in it, and then put it back around. Everything took grease. These pins, everything popped. When I put grease in them, pop. This one popped. The only one that I see right there is those two pins there. I guess I need to be up in the air for those two. Everything else is greased. Oil's changed. I added some more hydraulic fluid. So I think everything is ready to go. It does have one little LED. It's pretty bright. I'd like to add a couple more. I may find out where this wire is going. I'm sure it's going to the switch, and then there's probably a battery connection. I don't know if I can. There's a hole, kind of like the other one is. There's probably a single mounted hole. Maybe put one up on the cab. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a cool little machine. It's got a few rattles in it, which is the canopy top. It's the seat, you know, is sitting on metal. It rattles. The roof is just bolted to metal. It needs to have some foam or something in between the bars. And teeth are all good. I tightened all these up when I got it, but they were already tight. I went over all these bolts. They're all good and tight. Show you my little toolbox it comes with. It comes with owner's manual for the engine, and it comes with crawler. This is the little mini grease gun, and it came. There's the cone grease fitting. It come with that. It came with a hard line, little adjustable wrench, little hex. Don't know what size this is, doesn't say, but a little hex all in, a couple of wrenches. nothing really fits. I'm not sure what this is exactly. I don't know, but and then a spark plug tube. Get the spark plug out. It's got an extra bolt in there. I'm not sure what that bolt is for. And I haven't looked over this. It's just the operation, and there's the temperature gauge for the oil, hydraulic oil. Machine part. Let's see what it says here. Lower the bucket, lift the engine, idle, shut down, check oil level, hydraulic tank between the markers on the dipstick. It doesn't have a dipstick. Hydraulic oil. And so I don't know if this is what they're talking about. 200 hours. 2,000 hours, change the hydraulic oil. Replace a hydraulic oil suction filter element. Don't know where that is. But it has a diagram of everything, so that's pretty cool, I guess. The hydraulic traveling motor, spin motor. Anyway, I haven't even touched this stuff. I just opened it up for the grease fitting. And I did buy an hour meter, even though it has an hour meter here. Actually, it's 0 right now, and he said the guy bought it off this black wire. Just needs to hook it up. I'm going to hook this up as well. I just need to find a good place to mount it. And basically, this is a what do you call it? Like, it's kind of like a Hall effect. You wrap that wire around the plug wire, 5, 6, 7 times, and then this is inductive, and what it'll do, it'll pick up the signal and start counting on this. And I'd like to have a place to mount it that I could see it, but I don't see anywhere, because some of these others have like a bar or something going across you can mount this to. And it doesn't have to be exactly like on it. It could be off to the side somewhere. So I don't want to put it on this line. So, but anyway, I may just wait. I may just stick that normal hour meter on. I've only got 4. He said about 4 hours. I used it for maybe 30, 40 minutes. So we'll just say 4 even. And there's the hour meter. So let's see if I can do this one-handed and see if the hour meter starts counting. So the battery is on, and it looks like it is. So that's off. It's ticking, if you can hear that. So I may just leave that on. I might even just leave it on like for 4 hours. The battery on for 4 hours, and let this count up 4, and then it'll be semi-close to what it has. So I'm gonna put this panel back on. Like I said, this is it's not super thick, it's not super heavy either, but it's more of a beauty color than a cover. So you got your six holes, one on the top. These are, I believe these were 12s. And let's see what we got here. So the back cover was a half. That little panel right there is a half. And then the back, those bolts, I just use 5/8. It fits them. So a half and 5/8 for these bolts back here. So I'm going to put this cover back on and run around a little bit, maybe do a little digging. It's awful cold here. It's windy, it's cold, freezing day today. But yeah, I want to get the oil circulated, get the hydraulic fluid, get it good and hot. Make sure everything else is good. Like I said, there was no, when I got it, there was no loose bolts. Now, if you hear that, the seat is one of them. It needs some like rubber baby bubby bunkers on there. And then the top, it needs to come off or loosened up and put something in between the bar and the roof, to isolate it a little bit, because you start this thing up, it's just like, it's crazy. But I need to put some rubber baby bubby bunkers there, or whatever that's called, and throw the little mat in there. But everything is greased up that needs to be greased. Hydraulic fluid is topped off and oil's changed. So the only thing I need to do is these fittings, and those are every like 50 hours. Yeah, every 50 hours for those. So it should be good for a while, but maybe when it warms up, I'll because I'm going to use it for a little while. But anyway, that's my little MIVA VA15. I already scratched it up, a stump back here. I was digging it up and I was and it came right back. Clipped it. So, but other than that, I'm going to put it back together. I'm going to fire it up and do a little, I got just a little bit of digging done. I wasn't doing a whole lot back here. There was, see, I got one stump right there. Need to get that up. And then there was a little couple little cluster, dug them up. And then this one I worked about maybe 30 minutes on it. And I see it's a big old, it's spread out so far, but it's got like a root going straight down. So I've got to tilt it up and then take my axe and chop it. So yeah, I've got some brush back here behind my house. I've got to get it. There's a bunch of little stumps, and these, like, I don't know what you call these trees, but they have these like thorns all over them. And when I started cutting all these things down, oh my God, they cut me up so bad. They fall on my face, on my arms, legs, cut me up. They're like needles. So yeah, so I'm gonna put the cover back on and see if I can do a little digging, see how it does with everything greased up and the oil changed, and see how it runs and all that good stuff. So see you back in a minute. Well, I dug a very big hole. I had to use my axe, dig out all these roots. And this is what I dug up. I had to chop with my axe this, and it's only been 30 minutes since I did this hole. So as you can see, everything is back to normal. These holes on this cover need to be widened just a hair because they didn't line up. It's just kind of like I just push it, spring it, and everything else. And I noticed that my altimeter is not doing nothing. It's been about 30 minutes and I don't see anything, but it's fogged up. But anyway, running great. Dug this one hole just to make sure all the hydraulics and everything, no squeaks or nothing on it. Everything is good. So I've got a few more 25, 30 few stumps to dig out. So that's it. I mean, this is a cool little machine. Cool little machine. There's the whole machine. So cool little machine. Get you one if you just have some light stuff to dig up and that kind of thing. And I have a few more stumps and stuff to dig up. All these clumps and there. But yeah, It's a little slower than the normal huge excavator, but you know. And I bought this at an auction, $4,200 for everything, no tax. And it, as you can see, I've been doing a little bit, but yeah, I got it at auction, and the guy had lived about 40 minutes away from me, so that was the only good thing about it. 40 minutes away. I drove out there 2 weeks ago, picked it up, so I got $4,200 in it, plus a little bit of oil, grease, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, good little machine. I'm going to keep using it. It's awful cold right now. I just wanted to make sure everything was working well. Digging that up, I'm going to probably pack up here and go in the house. It's freezing. So hope you enjoy this. It's a cool little machine.